What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So that is exactly what I want to talk about today. What is going on? Why we're going down roughly about 4%. We showed a lot of good strength first thing in the morning, but I'm going to go through absolutely everything that you need to know coming from a Lucid investor. But before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, let's get right to it. So you can see the live ticker to my left, like I said, it is down 3.86%, 17.7 million as far as overall volume. So today is a little bit more abnormal, at least more so from what we're used to from Thursday and Friday. 41.7 million as far as the average. That is a 6-month average, and 694,000 shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. So at the end of the day, this can all be summed up by one thing: institutions not getting into Lucid today. Clearly, whether they are hesitant about what happened on Thursday and Friday, there's a lot of different things. More so, even if you look at the intraday chart, it did show a lot of good strength first thing in the morning. It's been a very volatile day, and there is only roughly about 1 minute left in the trading day, but this hands down is a good summarization of everything. Even looking at this, largest EVs based on market cap, all the big players are very much down. Tesla down 6%, Lucid down 4%, Rivian down 7%. Clearly the broader market is having a nice pullback, and unfortunately the anticipated catalyst that was supposed to come out has not come yet. So I'm talking about PIF. So at the end of the day, everyone is waiting for PIF to come out with their 13F to see what happened, whether they increased, decreased, held. There's a lot of people waiting on that, and in reality, that is a very strong catalyst for Lucid. But at the end of the day, take that aside, even looking at the 13Fs, there is still a lot of big things that came out today. So more specifically, Legal and General did increase 108%, and I have noticed that they increased on a lot of different growth stocks as well, Invesco and also Bank of America. I find this one very interesting. So as far as their actual shares, they reduced it roughly about 18%, but one very bullish point is that they actually reduced their puts. Yes, they originally had puts, unfortunately, but still they reduced it 61%. So that's a very positive thing. And like I said, PIF hasn't disclosed their position, but most likely it might actually come after hours today as well, if not tomorrow, because even looking here, a lot of the big players, so PIF, Vanguard, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, a lot of big names all increased their positions. Vanguard 36%, BlackRock 23%. Franklin did reduce it roughly about 11%, so that is one thing to take away, but still you get the idea. A lot of big institutions all got in. And one thing as well I just want to talk on, like I said about the institutions having a little bit more lower volume today, similarly you can see that based on the options activity. Oddly enough, there was only one big order today with a $80,000 premium. So as you can see, it does have a 32-day expiry date, $14 put. So in reality, that's a little bit more bearish. So overall, this is why, like I said, a lot of people are very skeptical. My interpretation of what I see from today, clearly we had a lot of strong positives. We are at a more of a substantial discount than any of these EVs. Again, I'm not a financial advisor or anything, just that's my interpretation. This is why on that intraday chart, we held fairly well, whereas initially all of the growth stocks and other EVs were completely down. They were all very much red from the get-go, with exception of Lucid. We had a little bit more of a blip right here, but we held our strength fairly well. But like I said, just want to bring up some other updates, one of which is shorts. So they did actually increase their position a little bit, 0.22%, which works out to be 641,000 shares being additionally shorted. 22.33% is our short interest, which is extremely high. The cost to borrow average is also 44.03, and short score is 82.75. So like I said, given all the circumstances, if we can have a very strong positive, we could see a little bit more of a squeeze, because there is currently 130 million shares that are currently being shorted against Lucid. Like I said, it is what it is, and most likely this was anticipated. I did a video yesterday on things to expect for this upcoming week, and I already did say that there may be 1 or 2 days of consolidation, which overall is still very healthy for the stock. And I just want to show you some technicals. So right now, the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. Despite us going down, we still do have a big deviation, black line above the red, showing a bullish sentiment. Momentum, again, despite us going down, number of buyers is going up. So again, going back to my interpretation at the very beginning, shows that institutions aren't necessarily buying Lucid today, but a lot of retailers are. So that's a very strong positive, again, depending on how you take that. RSI is also at 44, and on the actual chart, we did fail again for the second time to transition from the lower to the higher percent of the Bollinger Band, which usually does result in us consolidating, finding a new strong support level, and then bouncing off of that to trend higher. So that's again something that might be coming earlier this week, maybe even tomorrow, because everything seems to be sped up so fast as far as price movements and everything. And when it comes down to a lot of these stocks, more specifically Lucid, that is trading at significant discounts, that these are going to have very fast and aggressive price movements. And normally, like I said, on a typical day, there is a lot of options activity and a lot more volume coming from institutions. So like I said, most likely they are waiting and were hesitant about Thursday and Friday, it going up as much as it did. But going back to this though, hopefully PIF does come out with their position either, like I said, later today after this video, if not tomorrow, and that will be a very strong catalyst, especially if they do add to their position, because everyone is watching them. They are a huge part of Lucid. They basically are Lucid in some sense. But aside from PIF though, Lucid has always been one of those companies from the get-go that has a huge amount of institutional presence within its on a day-to-day basis. So like I said, even Vanguard, BlackRock, a lot of these big names having as big of a position as they do is very strong positive. That's my own opinion again. And like I said, when you are investing in Lucid, for instance, you should be investing in the long term, because there's going to be one hell of a bumpy ride until they can get their production down packed. But by 2025, 26, or even possibly by 2024, this is where you will make a lot of money during that time frame. So once again, I'm going to say that very famous quote is going to be the patient investors that make the most. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But I still do strongly feel with my video that I did yesterday, I can easily see us getting to around that $21 mark. I can see us getting over this. We don't have enough to get over into the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band just yet, unless, for instance, PIF does increase their position significantly, or there is some unknown catalyst that does come forward for Lucid, or just the broader market just goes through another epic rally such as Thursday and Friday. But the likelihood of that is very slim, so most likely this is why I do feel we don't have enough to get there. So $21 is still very much realistic, which given the price where we are now at $17.32, it's not too bad. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you have been buying, selling, holding, whatever it might be, let me know. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, greatly appreciate that. It helps push out a lot of Lucid content. And like I said, if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With all that said though, I appreciate you guys watching, unless I'll make a lot of money on Lucid.